first, it was just a viral outbreak in China. Then, it spread. And before long, the COVID-19 pandemic was wreaking havoc on not only healthcare systems, but economies around the world. Singapore's SMEs were not spared.
We started to see resignations from our Chinese staff and even from our Malaysian staff. They felt that they wanted to be home with their family.
The government announced that it would be DORSCON orange. After that, it was really scary because sales dropped like 80%.
The factories are shutting down. The logistics, the shipments are affected.
So I was looking at financials every single day and trying to figure out how do we continue paying our staff.
But even as these businesses took a beating, they hung on, and what's more, joined the fight against the pandemic.
This is our flagship shop at Capitol Piazza. Although we are not allowed to open, Kara and I are here to check on our merchandise.
Fong Lu Fern is the third-generation owner of CYC Made to Measure. Her grandparents came to Singapore from Shanghai and started the business in 1935. Lu Fern took over CYC in 1992 from her father and uncle.
The motivation was that, yes, I wanted to ensure that something that has been built up over all the years should be continued. And I guess the other point was I wanted to prove that a third generation can still make it work.
And not only to make it work, but to make it work better.
When I inherited the business, the brand image was that the business is like an old man. Younger people at that time said that CYC is my father's generation. The company was focused a lot on ready-to-wear shirts in the shops. And there was a big pile-up of inventory because the brand had not kept up with the changes in trends. One of the main things I did was to refocus the business into just tailoring. The other strategy was also to embark on a new business, which was to offer corporate uniforms to companies.
CYC now has 2 outlets, serving a wide range of customers. Business has been thriving, and Lu Fern was looking forward to doing even better.
In the beginning of 2020, we were expecting growth because we are doing very well on our B2B business. And even on the retail side, things have changed tremendously. So we were expecting business to improve tremendously. But COVID pandemic struck, and that gave me a lot of anxiety. When you talk about a family business, the most satisfying part about it is that we leave a legacy, and the legacy can be sustained.
The responsibility of upholding the legacy in a family business. That was what kept Alvin Yap going. Alvin is the second-generation owner of Buzz Ads. The outdoor advertisement company was started in 1983 by Alvin's father, Matthew Yap.
I believe Buses was one of the first companies that brought in printers to print stickers for buses. And I think that changed the advertising industry. When the 90s came, we saw a lot of digital possibilities out there, from LED screens to digital posters. And that was very worrying for bus ads because if we didn't reinvent ourselves, we would be extinct and irrelevant to the industry.
Alvin decided to leave his job at Singapore Airlines to help the family business.
So how many balance now, right?
We have another half to go.
Half was about
20 over bridges.
Island White. When my dad heard that I wanted to join the family business, I kind of got a sensing that perhaps he was slightly disappointed because he felt that the outdoor advertising industry was a sunset industry.
But Alvin proved his father wrong. The then 33-year-old reinvented bus ads by adding 3D ads, interactive panels, and digital screens into the business.
We moved from buses and trains to things like pasting stickers on aeroplanes, putting up 3D models onto bus stop shelters. Now we could do interactive campaigns, and that was how we moved the company forward.
Under Alvin's leadership, Bus Ads has become one of Singapore's biggest players in the outdoor advertising space.
We were very excited for the year 2020. We had secured the F1 contract for the last 5-6 years. We were pushing the boundaries of what interactive 3D could do. We were exploring augmented reality, virtual reality. At the early start of 2020, we started to feel the impact of COVID-19 and that things could go bad.
"2020 was supposed to have been a good year for Joseph Ling as well. With a number of big contracts lined up, things at his startup were finally falling into place.
So they can just scan a QR code, the digital menu pops up, and then you can actually order through there.
Joseph is at one of his client hotels to discuss the digital concierge developed by his company, Vouch.
As a guest, all you need to do is take out your own phone in the comfort of your room and scan a QR code. Just like that. And immediately, a web-based digital concierge pops up. No app download needed.
But Vouch had a tough start. Joseph founded the company in 2016 to do targeted marketing for online retailers. The first-time entrepreneur overestimated demand, ran out of money, and had to let his staff go. Joseph then pivoted to building chatbots. But Vouch's chatbot struggled to meet the challenges involved with e-commerce.
We actually ran out of money again. And yeah, second time I had to let everybody go. This was a really painful experience. This was when my wife also told me that she was pregnant with our third child. And I had already sunk in all my savings into the company. We had I think $3,000 left in the personal bank account.
But he persevered, and his fortunes turned when Vouch took part in the Hotel Innovation Challenge hosted by the Singapore Tourism Board.
This visionary GM came up to us and said, I have a problem with hiring enough people for my front desk and my back-end staff. And a lot of the questions that people ask my front desk are so repetitive. I basically told him that if you're ready to do this with us, you're ready to experiment with us, we're happy to do this with you.
Voucher's digital concierge was a hit with the hospitality industry in Singapore, and business took off.
So in 2020, we were really looking at growing really quickly in the hotel space. I remember we were in the office when suddenly someone said, hey guys, you know that no one from China is able to come to Singapore.
Another entrepreneur who was looking forward to more growth in 2020 was K.E. Tan. His company, Okada Ecotech, produces a multi-purpose pesticide-cum-disinfectant that's environment and human-friendly. KE had bought over the company from founder Okada Keisuke in 2009. But things weren't smooth sailing for the new boss then.
After I took over, everybody just disappeared. I know it's not making money, but I didn't realize it's that bad. Because by end of 2009, the losses is more than 300,000 Sing, with a turnover of only about $500,000. I freeze all the salary, like my salary and director fees and things like that, for almost 3 years without any income.
To get the flagging business back on track, KE realized he had to rebrand his product.
You need to let the consumer aware of the value that they are buying.
But his ideas for rebranding were not supported by shareholders.
Our product has its own value. We are not selling insecticide. We are selling this insecticide, disinfectant, fungicide, deodorizer, ovicide, larvicide, and water-based. On top of that is plant growth enhancer. It's very safe in the environment. I have to raise the price. The shareholders and disagree with me, basically. So after arguing for 3 months, I told my shareholders, I told my directors, look, I'm still the MD, I'm still the majority shareholders. It's enough. I mean, I'm responsible for it. So after that, I approached the reseller, people like NTUC and things like that. But they gave us a very strict condition. You're allowed to list here, but if your sales is below 200 cans a month for consecutively 2 months, we will take your product out from the shelf. So I say, okay, I accept it. I just need a chance, opportunity to show that this product can sell by itself.
And he succeeded. More than 25,000 bottles were sold in the first year, and since then, Okada Ecotech has been growing.
Over the years, our cash flow has improved. I was looking to buy over factories.
But by February 2020, it was clear that everyone's best-laid plans were being threatened by a new danger.
Chinese health authorities are still working to identify the virus behind a pneumonia outbreak in the central city of Wuhan.
In February 2020, a virus outbreak originating in Wuhan, China, was spreading into neighboring Asian countries. But initial infection numbers in Singapore were relatively low, with fewer than 10 new cases per day.
Singapore has confirmed its first case of the Wuhan virus.
We were very confident that we could continue business as usual. Why? Because we survived SARS. We survived the financial crisis. We survived MERS.
Singapore will restrict entry to all new travellers who've been to mainland China.
Talks with hotels were still ongoing. They were still happy to speak to us, but I could sense some nervousness coming from their ranks, and everything really changed when Singapore banned Chinese tourists.
Singapore's alert level for the novel coronavirus has been raised to the second highest level.
You don't find people walking around the shopping malls, so that really gave me sleepless nights.
The COVID-19 pandemic has triggered fears of a global recession and has created widespread supply chain disruptions.
During this COVID-19, the factories are shutting down. The logistics, the shipments are affected. Can you deliver my raw material?
It soon became clear that the new disease was going to have a severe impact on local businesses.
I showed a very brave front to the staff, and deep down inside, there was this very looming, nagging feeling that what if we had zero advertising? I care so much for the people that we work with, who has been with us for 20, 30 years. And I had sleepless nights, I remembered. There was even once when during our regular ops meeting, and something just hit me and I broke down during the meeting and I had to excuse myself.
Bus Ad's flow of new projects came to a stop, and Alvin's immediate concerns went beyond revenue.
Do I need to run my machines? Because my printers, which cost hundreds of thousands, need to be in working mode every 2-3 days, or else the print head gets clogged, and that will cost me thousands of dollars. 这些东西都是看起来很麻烦，很麻烦，可是这个是为了大家的安全。Today we have about 40 staff with us. Some of them had been with us very close to day one. And with a very heavy heart, I needed to talk to the head of departments that, look, we need to do something to stop the bleeding. There's only so much that we can sustain. It was either a pay cut, a no-pay leave, or retrenchment. And the staff said, boss, we are family business. So if anyone were to suffer, we should suffer as a family. And so we looked at pay cuts to start.
It became clear that Alvin had built up a loyal team that was willing to stick with him through thick and thin.
So during COVID, we start to see really amazing acts of kindness from our colleagues, from our staff. And I think one of them would have been my sales person, Adha.
Somewhere in February, I realized this COVID is here to stay. One of my ex-directors offered a job back in the furniture industry. It was a good opportunity. Looking at bigger picture, I learned something here in Basel. And to stay loyal to them is an opportunity as well. That is one of the motivation for me to stay on.
We're talking about some form of remuneration and a career promotion. And he came to me and he says, okay, listen, this is it. Let's focus on weathering during this period and let's deal with it later. I would never imagine any staff telling me that.
Another family business hit hard by the pandemic was CYC Made to Measure. Lu Fern was already facing an 80% drop in sales at her shops after the DORSCON level was raised to orange in early February. When the circuit breaker was implemented in April, she had to close both stores, and the company's uniform-making business was affected too.
You don't see the immediate effects of the B2B business, but as the economy started to close, hotels were being affected as well. And we had a big project in the pipeline. The client did not want to take delivery of the products because they were facing their own issues.
Okay, but this one, the customer only want like two, so we can take the right.
Sure, can. So at that time, when sales was dropping and you don't see the income coming in, how will we have enough revenue to pay all the bills and to pay salaries? So that was really worrisome. I really couldn't see how we could continue when the retail sales was going so badly. So I had to request our staff to go on no pay leave, 1 day a week on no pay leave. It was difficult. The only time I de-stress is when I spend time with my granddaughters, playing with them and reading stories to them.
Turning to family was also Joseph's coping mechanism. When Singapore closed its borders to arrivals from China, every hotel dropped out of projects with vouch.
I have this spreadsheet where I look at our upcoming deals, and all the upcoming deals suddenly from 20, 30K each one dropped to zero. So we had quite a number of team meetings where I was very transparent. We have a great team. I don't want to have to let anybody go, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that everybody is here. We were looking at potential pay cuts. I mentally prepared the team for that, to let them know this is really going to happen soon. Are you guys with me? And the whole team was very much on board. Some even said, hey, are you sure a 25% pay cut is enough? Actually, if you need, you can take more from me so that you can give it to other people that might need the money more. They believe in the company, they want to be here to see the end product. Yeah, and it was touching.
While most companies were facing sharp drops in revenue, Okada Ecotech's business was booming. The COVID-19 pandemic led to a huge increase in demand for sanitation products like theirs. But just as demand for their product increased, KE had to deal with an expiring lease and the consequent move to another factory.
It's basically had to catch up because during relocation, we cannot produce. We had to dismantle the equipment into pieces, and then we have to move over here and reinstall it and reconnect it and all that. It takes time.
This new factory, we need to organize a bit because all the goods has been laying around.
To prepare for the move, they had produced 3 months' worth of supplies, but it wasn't nearly enough to meet the new demand generated by COVID-19.
Hi boss, we just received order from NTUC, so we need to prepare our stocks very urgently.
Okay. Check whether we have enough raw material and work out with the workers.
Okay.
There's a surge in demand, not only for domestic market, also for our overseas market. My reseller in overseas were very concerned. They also worried that Singapore will close out their borders. They want to buy in advance. Instead of, for example, every month they are buying 3,000 liters. Suddenly they say, I need 12,000 liters now. We do not have enough raw material because our raw material is basically plant-based. We do stock a lot to make sure that it is fresh. And we are in the midst of relocating the factory. It's crazy. I mean, the pressure is tremendous. Hey, when can you deliver my supply, my raw material? 1 month. Too late, 1 month. Cannot. I need it. During this pandemic, everybody must have sacrifice. My raw material has gone up. My logistic cost has gone up. And we do not want to increase the price. So I told my reseller, I need to, not much, few percent, just to make sure that everybody go fast during this period.
In order to fulfill the extra orders amid the disruption, KE ramped up his production by having factory floor staff working overtime.
When there is a lot of work in the production, I go down and help out. At that time, we need more staff, but we can't engage, we can't employ anybody. We were talking to a local employment agency, thinking that some of the factory has been closed. Some of the staff remain in Singapore. They might want to work here. But apparently, we couldn't find a suitable one.
Malaysian Lucas Wang has been with the company for the past 6 years. When the Malaysian government announced a movement control order in March, the new father panicked.
COVID 之前，我是每个星期五我都会回去陪我的家人，我的宝宝9个月大，就是为了陪他们，所以无论多辛苦都要回去啊。在马来西亚政府宣布行动管制令的时候，其实心里蛮挣扎的，是要留在马来西亚还是要留在新加坡呢
I told him that whatever decision you make, I'll support you. I understand. I mean, family must be the first priority. And also, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But we are always here for you. When you go back, we'll pay for your leave. We'll give you at least 1 week off.
经济方面就只剩下我一个，所以第一重点就是经济方面的考量。那第二就是考虑到公司，在这段困难的时候，其实谁也不容易，包括我的老板，包括公司，所以我留下来，我是希望可以帮得到公司，跟公司一起度过这个难关。我非常想念我的家人，所以每天只能通过视频看看他们，跟他们沟通。哎，浩浩，哎，你还记得爸爸吗？3个多月没看到我了。
Economically, COVID-19 has spared few. Strong leadership will be needed to pilot through the storm ahead. COVID-19 has significantly impacted economic activity worldwide. According to the International Monetary Fund, the global economy is expected to shrink by around 5% in 2020. Companies have to rethink in order to survive the chaos created by the pandemic.
You wonder where you're going to get the income to pay your bills.
The biggest challenge is when a company doesn't reinvent themselves and hold on and hope that things will be the same again.
The world is changing with the pandemic. We are facing a new normal, so we must always adapt to the new circumstances and new situation.
So Vouch has been through hell and come back twice. And I have no doubts that we're going to be pushing further and fighting even harder than ever before.
All the information collected, the email to the front office team.
What we'll do is we get our sales team to go and push this out to more hotels. We sat our sales staff down and we told them, let's go and build that relationship with the hotels. What do they need today?
In March, Malaysia had issued a movement control order, leaving many Malaysians working in Singapore stuck here. A month later, all arrivals to Singapore had to be isolated for 14 days. Additionally, some frontline medical workers needed accommodation away from their vulnerable family members at home. Hotels in Singapore, including the Pan Pacific, stepped up and helped meet these challenges.
Even though STB did not mandate that Pan Pacific needed to track guest temperature, they wanted to do it.
We comply to MOH guideline to have a record of guest health declaration as well as the guest temperature twice a day. At one point, we are at peak, say about close to 500 guests in-house. They will take at least a group of 8 associates to take down a temperature recording manually. That will easily take a few hours because we have to do it twice a day.
So their GM and the director of rooms, they realized very quickly, we have this digital concierge that the guests are using. Can we sort of create something that allows the digital concierge to collect the temperature for us? We were able to come up with the pivot in this product, and we were able to deploy it in the rooms and allow guests to automatically submit their own temperature, saving them a lot of time.
Vouch solution has helped us to spend more time creating something more personalized, like for example, a card like this, which was created by the team, as well as look at this 3D cards, which is very creatively done. And this will be sent to their rooms and together with their surprise amenities on their birthday as well as special occasions. Our guests were very appreciative of this effort, which is done in a very personalized and heartfelt manner.
The additional function on Voucher's platform gave Joseph an idea. He would also offer the temperature-taking module to other hotels while introducing them to Voucher's digital concierge.
We were only happy to help. I mean, this is a point in time where hotels really need all the help they can get. We did not charge them for it. We immediately said, I'm going to help you within a week or even less.
Hey Victor, can I see the CapEx of assets?
Staying relevant during the pandemic was also a priority for bus ads. Alvin saw an opportunity to offer organizations a better way of dealing with the COVID-19 safe distancing measures.
So what better way to show our care for our customers and our friends is to produce a set of stickers as a care pack for all our clients. So what we've done is we've printed 5 different messages. It's floor stickers. And you can see, like for example, this one here, it says social distancing, keep 1 meter apart. So it's got all kinds of different messages from don't touch your face to don't be in a big crowd. And so we put them in a row like this and have this little message out here. Let's all play our part in social distancing. Here's a floor sticker care pack to keep your office safe. So hopefully this will help them to keep healthy during this period, as well as remember us for who we are.
Alvin sent out 100 care packs to clients and public organizations free of charge. The stickers were a more lasting alternative to masking tape.
We use masking tape and coupons to make sure that people follow this safe distancing measure. Of course, for masking tape, after a while you get dirty, and then it get peel off easily.
Adhesiveness, right, is very sturdy, especially for floor stickers. So when you have spaces like these in your office space, just use it when you can.
Buzz Ad's care packs were a success. The outdoor ad company started getting orders from associations, government institutions, and schools.
So people ask me, what do you do during COVID? What do you do during circuit breaker when you have no business? My answer is very simple. It's not the time to make business. It's the time to show the people you care how relevant you are in their needs. I had somebody said, oh, your business must be roaring right now, with the amount of social distancing stickers you have been printing and installing. I said, look, how many social distancing stickers, 1 meter by 30 cm stickers, I need to replace a double-decker bus? Hundreds and hundreds, right? And how many stickers do you need in a store? 5, 10, at most 15? So it's not a replacement in any sense of the word, but it is certainly a way to keep our clients connected, is to help them remember us. We are there to help you get out of any sticky situation that you are in.
Making changes to their products is something Lu Fen did too for her 85-year-old family business.
When the government announced DORSCON Orange, we were looking at what else we can do. So we experimented with face masks, seeing as how we have fabrics.
So we came up with 2 sizes for adults. And the fabrics that we worked with, we realized that some of our Egyptian cotton is more comfortable.
After nailing down the design, CYC was ready to take orders on their website.
We thought, okay, we would launch the sale of masks on our social media on 3rd April, because that's a Friday, to catch a weekend online sales. So we kind of thought that sales of masks will also be very lukewarm.
We still want to
But on the afternoon of their launch, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong gave a televised address to the nation.
For everyone else, in a community setting, alternatives like reusable masks will give some added protection.
I think we sold about a few hundred masks just over that weekend. The whole team was totally elated and excited. The extra revenue, it helps to pay some of the bills, it helps to pay the salaries. And so we also decided not to get our staff to go on no pay leave, and I paid everyone their full salary because there is income coming in.
CYC has managed to retain all 58 staff through the COVID-19 economic downturn.
Over the last few months, almost every night I dream about masks. And in fact, my husband told me that, you woke me up telling me to wear my mask.
Masks are just one weapon in the battle with COVID-19. Disinfectants are another. In May 2020, KE repackaged its multi-purpose solution into a purely disinfecting product called BioX Cleanse. As a pesticide-free alternative, BioX Cleanse is sold at a lower price compared to other Okada Ecotech products.
So for this pandemic that is affecting everybody, I want to make my product more affordable. I have to take away some component like the insecticide ingredient so that I can lower the cost.
And KE hopes to come up with a longer-term solution to help curb the spread of the virus.
So in order to eliminate, to control the spread of the bacteria and viruses, the best thing is to have a humidifier emitting the mist into the environment. Then at least we can have a more normal conversation without covering our mouth all the time. It needs to be proven that it is safe. So we need to carry out, the test is called repeat dosage of inhalation, whether you, in the long term, whether you affect your nose, your lung, and things like that. We have found some labs in Europe. We are still negotiating.
These local SMEs have been innovative in keeping their businesses up and running. But beyond that, they are also stepping up to support their communities. Much of the world's population has been placed under some form of lockdown to curb the spread of COVID-19. While businesses prepare themselves for a long period of hardship, companies like Buzz Ads are also looking at how they can help others.
The size, I believe, is all the same, but the material is different because the floor sticker material is different from the rest of the material. So we worked with Jardine Matheson and designed some feel-good stickers. I helped to sponsor part of the printing, the inks, the labor. So very quickly we printed hundreds of these feel-good stickers, and we channeled out to more than 50 supermarkets and stores. That's good.
Having gone through COVID-19 induced anxiety himself, Alvin was keen to help others who also had their mental health affected. He also hoped his staff would reap the benefits as well.
What's important is we present ourselves as a family business that is here to partner and to help you in all weather. The social distancing stickers, the feel-good stickers, sends a very strong signal to the company, to our partners, to our clients, to our friends that we are agile, we will do what is necessary, we will reinvent ourselves. This is a bad patch for us, but it will go away. And we are here for the long term. So you can depend on us.
Joseph and his team, too, found another way to engage their clients during the outbreak.
So the hotel that gave us this idea was Intercontinental Robertson Quay. Their hotel manager was also another visionary. He was like, hey, I need to make money from my restaurants now. Can you guys help with that? I know you have a room service ordering system. Can we adapt that to allow our restaurants to do takeaway? And we thought, hey, that's a wonderful idea. Let's run with that, right? And so the sales team, they geared up.
Joseph and his engineers designed a new module on their digital concierge, which allows customers outside the hotel to place food orders directly with the hotel's restaurants. One of the beneficiaries of this new order system was Publico Ristorante at Intercontinental Singapore Robertson Quay. Prior to using Voucher's digital ordering system, the restaurant was receiving takeaway orders manually through WhatsApp.
And the guests will get a notification about it. So really, really simple to deploy, really, really simple to use.
The customers would probably have some questions. They would want to make some changes or some special dietary requirements, which will be going back and forth on WhatsApp with one of our team members. Vouch came back with a solution within 3 weeks of us briefing them exactly what we want. So it has taken off a huge amount of work that was previously done manually. In terms of numbers, it has grown from 0% to 17% of our volume, which came purely from the Vouch portal. And then that 17% has grown further to 22% in the following month.
For this, we immediately told them, I know you need this. We're going to give it to you for free. Besides Intercontinental Robertson Quay, we also offered this to Andaz, to Pan Pacific, to Holiday Inn Express, Clarke Quay, as well as Katong. And the reaction has been really positive. They've almost all universally been wanting to use this and to deploy it in their restaurants. When they realized that the F&B module has provided so much value to them, and they can see that the full digital concierge has so much more to offer, a lot of them are actually happy to take up our full product. It's a huge morale boost. You realize that, hey, even in a situation like COVID, Vouch can still figure out a way to provide value to these guys. It makes you think, hey, things that we're doing really help people. It makes you feel that the company and its products are making a difference in the hospitality industry. And I think that is really the most important thing, because we don't want to build something that is just for money, right?
If there's a silver lining in the COVID-19 outbreak, it's a renewed sense of community. And for businesses like CYC, giving back in difficult times is a top priority.
So in addition to making masks for sale, I had the idea that we should also make masks for the foreign workers because I felt the need to help them. We decided that we could provide mask kits and mobilize Singaporeans to help in this project because we are able to have the capacity to cut the mask in big volume, but we don't have enough sewers to sew up the mask.
As Vice President of the Textile and Fashion Federation, Lu Fen activated her contacts. She got in touch with Senior Minister of State, Sim Ann, a patron of the Federation.
I had to get the help of SMS Sim Ann to see how we can push off this initiative. Then she got very excited and got us in touch with the Migrant Workers Centre.
Lu Fen set an ambitious target of making 300,000 masks for all migrant workers in Singapore. CYC promoted their campaign on social media to engage individual volunteers. Soon after the launch, organizations like the Centre for Domestic Employees lent a hand to CYC's campaign. CYC's initiative became part of Mask Force, a community-led campaign mobilizing donors, NGOs, and the private sector to produce and distribute masks to migrant workers and domestic helpers.
This crisis felt like we were fighting a war, and I was very encouraged to see how our staff all working together, pulling up their socks and just going all out to make sure that things are done. I feel very proud of the whole team. And it was very encouraging to also hear from volunteers about how excited they are about working on this project.
Okada Ecotech was also part of the war against the coronavirus.
We're here today to give away our product to this charity event. The organizing committee, Keeping Hope Alive, is helping to clean up senior citizens here because a lot of them are left alone during this pandemic period and no one is allowed to come and see them and things like that. So right now, the entire unit apartment is quite unclean. So what they do is that to help all those old folks to clean up the environment. During phase 1, we have contributed to the Salvation Army and also the Senior Daycare Center as well. Right now we are in the phase 2, and this is a critical time actually because there is a concern that the second wave of pandemic is happening everywhere in other countries as well. So in order to ensure that there is no outbreak during this phase 2, we need to make sure the environment is sanitized, the diseases are not spread from one community to another community.
COVID-19 has stretched most companies to their absolute limit. But it's during these tough times that remarkable stories about strength and resilience are born.
We are finding ways to increase connectivity with the hotel while reducing contact, things like that. And because the hotels recognize that we have helped them during this period, they're willing to work through these issues with us, to take a chance on us and actually do these things with us.
It's always adapting to the new challenges and things like that. You always has to be calm, you know. Instead of reacting to a situation, you need to find a solution to a situation. Always tackling the problem, not selling, not making money, selling, make money. No, that's not an issue.
It's not just about making money, it's also about caring for people. We are thankful that we can finally open our shops for business. Our customers have also contacted our sales consultant and said that they need to come back to see us because they have put on weight during this circuit breaker time and they need new wardrobes. I'm definitely very thankful that our customers still remember us.
Now that we're in phase 2, certainly, more companies are opening up and more companies would need to the safety distancing stickers. I am still optimistic.